Welcome to another episode of the Hot
Seat
Pod, brought to you by the Run the Play Network. Did I? I'm far too. I'm hooping though. I don't give a fuck. Today, we got another great round of football to predict. Last week, I'm not going to lie, did I go perfect? Nah, I picked the Rams. Near perfect performance.
Pick the Rams, what do you mean?
I picked the Vikings. Yeah. Near perfect performance from me.
Perfect.
Not a near perfect performance from my boy, Will, the number one Broncos fan in the world. After that loss, Will, how do you feel?
You know, I'm just happy to be here. Yeah, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, it's Josh Allen and the Bills. You know, they're gonna do their thing out there. You know, I really thought we were gonna get that game though. That first drive, it looked really nice.
It did.
And I don't know what happened after that. You know, and we were really keeping them on edge. You know, we had them kicking 3 field goals in the first half, and then you know we kind of just after we missed the one before halftime, we kind of just lost it. Honestly.
Went downhill from there, man. It got ugly there for sure.
Yeah.
Do you see that thing where they said Bo Nix has been playing with a fractured back since week 12?
No, I did not see that.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
He's a dog, man. So, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we made the playoffs. We ended our drought. Just got to go into this offseason, pick up some good guys, and, you know, get ready for next year.
I've already started doing my draft homework.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, I know it's a little early, but with school coming around, I feel like I got to get ahead of it and at least be familiar with some of these names so that once we get into the draft, like, I know what I'm looking at, you know?
For sure. It's never too early, you know? You always got to start early.
Always got to start early. So right now, me and Wilson are going head-to-head in a teriyaki battle. Whoever gets the most game predictions right gets a bowl of teriyaki from the loser. Right now, I'm up 1, I believe, correct?
Yes, sir.
Because the Houston Texans pulled out for me. No. I'm up 2. Because I picked the Bills. Our only difference was you picked your favorite team and I picked mine. And Houston won.
Yeah.
Bills won. I'm up 2. Front runner for
true.
some teriyaki right now. But who knows, this week, there's a lot of good games. I definitely could see us having some differences. And the first game I think we're definitely going to have a difference on is Houston at KC. Right now, Kansas City's a 7.5-point favorite. But I'm going to go with the Houston Texans.
Of course.
Call me delusional all you want. I did not think we were going to beat the Chargers. I still picked the Texans. I'm not going to tell you guys to bet money on the Texans because I'm not there yet in confidence-wise. But if I got to pick a team, I'm picking the Houston Texans because what, is the real difference between the Chiefs and the Chargers, you know? Great defense, great run game. What?
Dude, the Chiefs are a whole nother level, man.
They're a very similar team. I'm going to be honest.
Not really.
I think they're a very similar team. Whose defense is better?
Chiefs.
No.
For sure.
I don't think so.
And their offense is better, too.
In what aspect?
Everything.
Their run game is better than the Chargers' run game.
Yes.
No.
For sure.
No, you're crazy. You're crazy.
Pacheco and Kareem Hunt is a lot better than J.K. and Gus Edwards.
But not the way they're utilized.
Yeah, but, you know, just, physical attributes and, their tendencies are just...
They're better players for sure, but I don't think they are better, if that makes sense. They're not being used better. Therefore, they're not. This season, they weren't... The stats will probably back me up, but they weren't a better team on the ground than the Chargers were. Through the air, I'll give you that because they're looking scary with DeAndre Hopkins, with Hollywood Brown now back. But through the air, and our pass rush is elite as far as defensive side goes. So we could definitely give them problems there. Again, I think our offense is a problem. But I think if the defense could light the spark early, then we could go out there and hoop. And we showed that, especially if we run it through Joe Mixon, because Joe Mixon's been absolutely killing. Near the end of the season, start of the playoffs, he's been absolutely killing. Nico Collins is finally getting his reps in. I can't stand John Mechie. I'm going to be honest. I know there's a lot of believers still. I like Xavier Hutchinson more. Yeah. But other than that, and Dalton Schultz too, I can't stand him. I'd rather have Cade Stover out every play. like for us to win that first game was already a huge win coming in as an underdog. And to be here, I think is like okay, we could do it. Because last season, bro, like we made it out the first round. CJ Stroud was the youngest quarterback to ever win a playoff game. Like that was a win. I didn't expect much in the second round. Now that we did that last season, we should have an expectation to go out there and win, even if it's against the Chiefs. Like that locker room isn't like okay, our season's over, like we won kind of deal. The same way it probably was last season. They got to go out there and punch the Chiefs in the mouth, and I think they could do that for sure.
Okay, yeah. Are you guys gonna get? Is Deontay Johnson gonna play? Do you know?
He played last game, but he just doesn't play a lot of snaps. I don't know what the deal is with him. Like I'm curious if like he just has issues or if he's playing hurt or something because he is not playing snaps anywhere he goes.
Yeah, that dude's been bouncing around, just been getting passed like a blunt. I don't know what's going on with him. I hope he does play though, because it'll be a really really nice game to watch.
He'll be a difference maker for sure, because then we could keep Mechie's ass on the bench.
Yeah, and then I was gonna say in our group chat too, our fantasy group chat, I forgot to like say it, but honestly, like you guys won that game without like no offense, which is like kind of crazy. Yeah. And like if you guys just like figure it out on offense, I think you guys could win the Super Bowl, honestly.
And honestly, Will, and I know you hear me talk about football every week, but I said that going into the playoffs where CJ Stroud could put it together, and he did this game. He looked a lot better this game. I agree. Our offense isn't what the numbers said it was. Like we were playing up. It's kind of easy when Justin Herbert throws 4 picks. Yeah. I also want to say though, and this might be a hot take, 2 of those picks were Herbert's fault, 2 weren't.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Like people were acting like Justin Herbert absolutely like shit the bed, and he played bad, but he didn't like. There wasn't much he could do, bro. That team is built on the run, and their running backs did not do shit. J.K. Dobbins 2.9 yards on the ground, 2.9 yards per carry. Gus Edwards, 3.1 yards per carry. Like, they were playing behind the whole game. That's not a game script for that team. If they run the ball every play, you can't do that down, Yeah. So it just didn't work out for them.
Yeah, yeah. Really, Herbert only really had, like, 2 picks. I would say, too. Like, 2 of them weren't his fault. But I'm still going to roll with the Chiefs here, man. It's the Chiefs, When it comes to playoff time, they turn it up. You guys met with them earlier in the season as well. Chiefs beat you guys by 8 points. It's a really similar game as well, except obviously you guys had Tank Dell at the time. I think losing him is a pretty big loss. So I'm really hoping like Deontay Johnson gets some more snaps here. John Mechie and like Xavier Hutchinson could step up, but I can't bet against Mahomes. And he has, a few weeks to work with Hollywood Brown now, so I think they're gonna be all right and win the game.
I'm still riding with my dogs. I'm still gonna ride with my dogs.
Man. It's like it's part of the tradition,
Yeah, no, it is for sure. It's definitely a podcast tradition. But I mean, like, you got to think about it, bro. Like, this was week 15 when we played. We looked way better this week in week 19 technically than we did in week 15. Say I'm wrong. The offense looked a lot smoother. Derek Stingley, bro, like I'm trying to keep my bias out of this. I still think Pat Surtain is the best cornerback in football, but Derek Stingley is not far off of that.
Oh yeah, no, he's elite for sure.
He's but it's not like a 1 and a 2 situation. It's like a 1 and a 2 situation. Like they are neck and neck, bro. Derek Stingley has been a monster, absolutely killing it. But the next game to talk about is Washington at Detroit. And if you want to bet on this game, let's hear a word from Boom Fantasy.
Man, okay, LeBron hit my parlay. Let's get it. Oh, shit, he hit it? Yeah, bro. Look at this.
I won $200. I told you parlay.
How the heck did you win $200?
I used Boom Fantasy. I used their pick and spin, spun the wheel, got 10 times my money.
Bro, you got to hook me up.
If you use code RTP, you could get a risk-free bet up to $100. Let's get back to the video. Washington at Detroit. The game opens with Detroit as an 8.5-point favorite, and the score is over under 55.5. Honestly, this game could be interesting. I'm not gonna lie. I could see Washington shaking things up a little bit. Detroit should have smacked on Minnesota by a lot more that last game. Yeah. Like they should have ran it up on them. And with the Detroit defense having, I believe when I looked, it was like 8 players on IR. Which is fucking insane.
It's crazy, man.
Washington's offense looked smooth, bro. They looked real smooth.
No.
So,
For sure. Now they really turned it up, honestly, against the Buccaneers. You know, it should have been. They should have been scoring a lot more points. It shouldn't have been that close, like you said. But I still got to roll with the Lions here, man. The Lions, Detroit beat Detroit. And yeah, I think, you know, Jaden Daniels is a rookie. I think his rookie tendencies are going to, like, kind of fall in this game. Like you said, you know, they have a lot of guys on IR, but I think a few of them might be coming back. That's really going to help them out this game. So, you know, I just got to roll with the Lions here.
I'm interested, bro. I'm interested in this game for sure because the Lions do give up a lot of points lately. Commanders obviously are going to put those points on. I feel bad. Shout out the Bucs, man, because they had an amazing season. They definitely should be in this game right now. It was tough watching. I rewatched it. Like, it was like one of those Madden games where you play a perfect game and then you get that fumble at the end of the game and it's like there's nothing you could do. That's literally what happened because the Buccaneers played an amazing game. Mike Evans had a game. Baker had a game. Baker made one mistake at the end of the game that ended up costing them.
Yeah.
But we've seen Washington beat the Eagles, bro. Like, we've seen Washington beat some really good teams. I think I'm going to roll with Washington here, bro.
Jeez.
I think I'm going to take the hot take here. De'Ami Brown finally looked amazing. I spent 50 fab on him before the season in our Dynasty League and ended up cutting him like 2 weeks later. But De'Ami Brown looked like a monster in this last game. Terry McLaurin, like, if you have dudes on the IR, like, I don't think the Lions starters could guard those guys. Now you got backups. Terran Arnold's questionable for this game. He's kind of been their cornerback one. The pass rush isn't going to be able to get to Jaden Daniels. Washington defense, I feel like, is finally, like, figuring it out. I feel like early in the season we talked about this where every time they would play someone, it's like you want to take the receiver that's going against them over. And it just wouldn't work out because Washington's defense, like, slowly figured it out. And now you have Marshawn Lattimore there. I'm going to take the Washington football team, the Washington Redskins, the Washington Commanders. Give me Washington. Give me Jaden Daniels, man. I think we get a playoff run from him. I think I want Washington versus Philadelphia.
Yeah.
That's what I'm rooting for, man.
No, that would be a solid matchup. You know, another divisional. You know, they're probably like the third time they're facing each other this year, so that'd be interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like the Lions, you know, they're just like the more experienced team.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Commanders, you know, they have Jaden Daniels and all that. But I think Terry McLaurin's like the only one on that team that's like, you know, really been to the playoffs.
Taylor Heineke, baby.
From Washington. Obviously, you have guys like, you know, veteran guys like Bobby Wagner doing his thing.
Lattimore.
They
have a lot of veteran presence, I feel like. I feel like you can't count that out.
Yeah.
And if Jaden Daniels comes to play, he's gonna put on a show. And realistically, bro, like, if we could get Jaden Daniels to the Super Bowl, there's no loser.
Yeah.
Like, we get Jaden Daniels versus Mahomes. That's an easy market sell matchup. We get Jaden Daniels versus C.J. Stroud. That's the youngest Super Bowl probably ever. We get Jaden Daniels versus Lamar Jackson. It's like looking in the mirror type of thing.
Yeah.
That could be fire, bro.
That's solid. What about Josh Allen?
We ain't getting him in the Super Bowl for sure. I'm going to stand on that. But I really believe in this Washington team. I think over the last 5 weeks, they've really shown that they're one of the best teams in the NFL. I know it's hard to bet against Detroit, bro, but they're so beat up, and they haven't looked amazing the last couple weeks. You know, like that Vikings game, it felt like it was more on the Vikings. The 49ers, they only beat the 49ers by a touchdown. They whooped on the Bears, but they lost to the Lions. I mean, they lost to the Bills. They lost to the Packers. I mean, they beat the Packers by 1 score, beat the Bears by 1 score. Like, that's not this Lions team that started the season like beating the Jaguars 52-6.
Yeah.
That's not the same team, bro. If they were healthy, I think I would have them going a lot farther. If they had Aiden Hutchinson, I would have them going a lot farther. But it's tough, bro. It's tough.
Yeah. I mean, you know, regardless, I feel like the Lions, you know, they can still put up points.
Yeah.
You talk about the Vikings game, they still put up like 30 points.
Yeah.
When Goff only threw like 1 touchdown to Gibbs. So I think, you know, the ability for them to like kind of like spread the ball here. I think Amon-Ra is going to have a game. He didn't really do much against the Vikings last game. I think this game is really going to contribute a lot more. And I don't really think like Marshawn Lattimore is really going to hold him together, you know. They kind of showed him last game that, you know, he couldn't really do shit against Mike Evans.
Sam Darnold contributed more to that 31 than the Lions offense did, though, bro. Sam Darnold these last 2 weeks, I mean, like, he really just fumbled his bag completely in the offseason.
Yeah.
Poor guy. But I don't know, bro. I feel like you're talking about, like, their offense could put up points. If any team in the playoffs could put up points, it's the Washington Commanders, bro.
Yeah.
If any team could keep up with them, it's Washington. I don't think it's that clear cut. I do think Detroit's offense is better. I'm not saying that. But if any team could match them, it's Washington. And I think Washington's defense, healthy, like with what they have right now, is better than the Lions' defense right now. Would you agree?
You're talking about the Commanders?
With like the shell of a defense that the Lions are right now, compared to Washington right now, kind of figuring it out.
Yeah.
I think I would take the Commanders' defense right now.
I mean, it's close. I would say it's close for sure.
Really, bro?
Yeah. The Lions' defense is still good. Even though they have those guys banged up, they're still good. They're just not like, at the top that they used to be.
They would be elite, bro. They would be
elite.
so good. I was thinking about it today, bro. Isn't it kind of crazy that Penny Sewell is probably going to retire like the greatest offensive tackle ever?
Bro, for real, man.
He's been like top dog and he's like, what, 25?
Literally.
Like that team, if they lose, bro, in this round, it's definitely a loss of a season.
Yeah.
But that team has so much to look forward to in the future because they're built so good.
For sure.
Quarterback lockdown, all that. And I want them to go on a run, bro. But I think it just kind of makes more sense for Washington to win.
You think Jane Daniels shakes it?
I think
A little shrug?
a little shake up.
Okay.
This game, though, I don't know if it's going to be as interesting. I think this is the game I'm least looking forward to. The Rams at Eagles. Philadelphia comes in this game as a 6.5 point favorite.
Yeah.
What do the Rams got to do to win this game? You think the Rams could win this game?
I mean, the only way they're gonna win this game, bro, is to like engage the whole game.
Send
bro.
everyone.
Last time they met up, Saquon had 26 carries for 255 yards,
Sheesh.
2 touchdowns.
Sheesh.
It's like, dude, like
Joystick.
you literally have to like contain him, man. There's no way you can because he's been doing that all season. I think the Rams, they got kind of lucky, honestly, that Sam Darnold kind of played like shit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, obviously they got Puka and Cooper. They really just been rolling it on offense. But
I don't think they did shit today, though. I might be mistaken, but I saw so many tweets about dudes betting on those guys.
yeah,
And they didn't do shit, it felt like. The fucking tight end, it wasn't Higbee because Higbee went down. It was fucking...
I don't know who you're talking about.
Oh, maybe Higbee didn't go down. But Puka had 44 yards. Cooper Kupp had 29 yards.
You're talking about Kobe Parkinson?
I was thinking of Davis Allen. I saw Davis Allen come up with a big catch.
Davis Allen with a big game.
Parkinson had a game too, though. They had like everyone kind of contribute.
Yeah, no. Even if those guys obviously they don't do their own game, they're gonna like become they're a good decoy.
Yeah,
they're someone to look forward to playing against. But I still think the Eagles. I think they're gonna smoke them, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, nah, for sure.
My problem with the Eagles that I kind of have had is I feel like they disappear a lot. And
yeah, they do, yeah.
The Packers game, like, they won, but they low-key disappeared. Like, they should have smoked that team. The Packers were playing like dog shit. You're the number 2 seed in the NFL. You should fuck that team up. They are on a level way above the Packers. They're on a level way above the Rams. And the Rams, I feel like, if the Rams were plopped into that Packers game, the Rams would have won that game. Because the Rams aren't going to back down or play like shit the way the Packers did. They're not going to look like Jordan Love out there, who I said was a lock to throw an interception. He threw like 4 of them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Matthew Stafford, we could get an upset here, but this is one I'm not going to bet on, that upset, because Philadelphia is healthy. They always hoop after A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts have some sort of beef, and that kind of happened in this game. I think they're going to turn up against L.A. I don't think the L.A. defense can handle them.
No,
even though, bro, that L.A. pass rush, the Jared Verse, Brandon Fisk, like, in
solid
3 years, bro, that's going to be the fucking pass rush in the NFL. They're cooking for sure. I'm curious to see where they go in the draft, probably secondary or, like, maybe like a middle linebacker or safety or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm taking the Eagles here as well.
No, for sure.
Engage
And it's kind of crazy when you mentioned Jared Verse and Braden Fisk. Braden Fisk?
I think it's Brandon Fisk, but
Yeah, they got him in the same year, so it's like they got a bright future for the Rams.
Braden, you're right.
Braden. Yeah, so, I mean, the Eagles, they're going to be Eagles. I feel like that Packers game, they didn't really need to, like, become, like, full force, like put up points type of shit. Because, I think that momentum was going towards their side the whole game. Ever since, the kickoff, they caused the fumble. Like, I think they didn't really need to, like, get everyone out there. That's why A.J. Brown was, like, reading a book on the sideline, So I think this game, it's going to be a lot more different. I think obviously Saquon's going to get involved. I think A.J. Brown's going to get more involved as well. So I got to roll with them.
I feel like they let their foot off the gas. And I think you can't do that against Matthew Stafford and the Rams. Because if they get in rhythm, bro, and you're playing, like, nonchalant, trying to act all cool, whatever, like this, they're going to light you up. Those white boys, the two receivers and the quarterback are going to come at your fucking throat, bro.
Facts.
I don't think Darius Slay has the same type of game that he had against a Cooper Kupp and a Puka.
No.
And the Packers were playing with their second, third string receivers because everyone went down. But yeah, this is the game I want to talk about, though. You took the Eagles, obviously, yeah. So you've taken the favorite every time?
Yeah, I just can't really see an upset. I
Dick
mean,
Rider.
Hey, I know ball.
I think you're going to say, all right, Dick. The last game, the big game, I hope you disagree with me here so we could get a little heated. But Baltimore Ravens taking on the Buffalo. We in the hills making big bills.
Sheesh.
You know where I'm going here, I'm guessing.
Well, you rolling with Baltimore?
I'm rolling with Baltimore. I just think they're a better team, bro. Their defense has been elite in the second half of the season. Their offense, they have the run game. They have everything, bro, really put it together. They don't need receivers out there, bro.
Yeah.
Run Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry options the whole game. Slide a couple off to Likely and Mark Andrews, and you're going to win a fucking game. Especially against the Bills team that, to me, offensively, it's just Josh Allen. And defensively hasn't been great either.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to have to agree with you, honestly. I got to go with my gut here, and that's the Baltimore Ravens. The whole season, they haven't played against a top-tier running back. Uh-huh. The best running back they probably played against was either Joe Mixon from you guys or Kyron Williams, or, obviously.
Derrick Henry.
Oh, yeah, no, besides the Ravens.
And they smoked them.
Yeah, and they smoked them. So I see this, rinsing again over here. Derrick Henry, he's going to have his, 20-plus touch game again.
Uh-huh.
I think it's going to be a very similar game to what we've seen last time, where I think they won 35-10, I believe.
Killed them.
So it's, I think Josh Allen is really going to get contained here. James Cook is not really going to have his big game as he usually does because that Ravens defense is just phenomenal. So I got to roll with the Ravens.
Yeah, especially on a team like the Ravens, who obviously they've been hooping the last 8 weeks or so I don't want to discredit them too much. Yeah. But a team like the Ravens where their cornerback room isn't the greatest, and now you're playing against Khalil Shakir, Amari Cooper, dudes who aren't really scary anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like their biggest hole might not get exposed versus the Bills, because the Bills have no one to really do that with. I don't think Josh Allen has a spectacular game against this Ravens team. I think he needs to, but this is pretty much a battle for the MVP, bro.
For sure.
I hope that whoever comes out of this game stays healthy, because if the Chiefs do end up beating us, bro, and these two teams beat each other up, it's going to be ugly that next week, and I don't want to see that shit.
You don't want to see that three-peat?
I mean, I do want to see a three-peat, but I want to see it I want to see it valid. They got to go on the right run. They got to beat a healthy Baltimore, beat a healthy Buffalo. But if Baltimore goes to KC healthy, I don't think KC walks out of that one looking good.
That's gonna be a nice one, man. That's gonna be a fun one to watch.
That's what I'm here for, boys.
Yes, sir.
That's what we're all here for. We're all here for playoff football, man. And if you're new here, because we had a huge surge this last week in subscribers. If you're new here, make sure you guys leave a like, drop a comment, tell us something about you. You know, we got a lot of new people here. Tell us something about you, and we'll tell you something about us. Simple as that, man. Like, subscribe, follow. We'll let them know what else they need to do.
Don't forget to run the play, baby.
Boom.